Yeah, I'm here with Simon Gatto from Comalatech, and he will tell us a little bit about one of their plugins. So, which
Yes.
plugin you
So
will
we're
talk
gonna
about?
we're gonna chat a little bit about so Canvas for JIRA is an add-on that we've designed, and it was originally came out about 2 years ago, and was really being I think up until recently sold as a tool for development teams to extend sort of the agile methodology, but using a more flexible board product that you can design the boards and use different fields. And it works great for if you're using, if you're developing an agile and you're triaging your backlog. It works really well for that. But something more recently that we've started really seeing a lot of interest in and being able to help people with are the non-software development teams. So particularly with the release of JIRA 7, they've split the product into three parts. So you have JIRA Core for businesses, you have JIRA Service Desk for the service desk teams, and you have JIRA Software. The only at this point, the only version of JIRA 7 that has any boards functionality is JIRA Software, and they have their built-in Agile plugin. So we're trying to help the non-development teams be able to manage their issues on a board, and it has nothing to do with software development. It's just a JIRA project that allows you to manage the issues. So
Great information for me because I am in the marketing team, so I
exactly.
think this would be interesting
Exactly.
for us.
I'm the only
Yeah.
I'm the only person at Comalatech that's a non-developer.
Ah,
So
okay.
for me, this is perfect because I don't develop software, so I don't use JIRA for that. But I really like JIRA for the ability to create tasks and issues that you can track and have a proper workflow and manage. But previously, if you weren't developing, JIRA was not
Yeah.
that interesting. So this brings another dimension for the non-development
Yeah.
folks. I was in my youth, I managed a support team. So when Service Desk first came out, I thought, well, hey, this is really cool, and I started to play with it, and it's a really nice tool. But some of the processes and the steps, there's a lot of clicks, and there's a lot of things to do to, for example, assigning a ticket to a user. So I've created this board that we're looking at now,
Yeah.
and this is actually a board that's based off of a service desk project. So you can see the service desk issues that I've created. We have hardware requests, access cards. So these are all things you can create in JIRA Service Desk.
Yeah.
And we have our agents across the top. So these are all of our service desk agents. Now you'll notice I mentioned earlier that with Canvas for JIRA, you can use any fields you want. So you can see right now I'm using assignee and issue type, but I could just as easily change this to another field if I want. But for this particular board, I designed this around the idea of, well, I want to be able to easily manage and assign incoming support desk tickets. So I will put the all of my unassigned tickets. I can see them coming in, and then I can actually assign them to my individual agents. So if I wanted to give this one to Miguel, I may want to give this one to Kelly. So just by dragging them around, what normally would take 6 or 7
Steps.
clicks,
Yeah.
I can just drag
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
We can also keep track of things like I created one for a workload report, so we can see how many tickets that Kelly has waiting for her to look at, how many aren't assigned. So we can also manage the workload. So Simon has a lot of open support issues, so I may need to redistribute some of these to the different agents so we can very quickly update the tickets. We can walk them through the transition. So this is an application I think is really great. I think it will help extend the service desk functionality. It also makes it very easy for non-technical staff that haven't been using JIRA. I found that it helps with the user acceptance. If they have a more visual display to interact with,
Yeah.
they often will find it more easier to use than going into tickets and issues and updating them manually.
Yeah. You also have a good overview.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And if you wanted to,
Yeah.
you wanted to look at something more like just my own tickets that I have open, you can manage your own support issues. So in each one of these boards, once you've created a board that you like based on your fields, you can save it, of course, but you can also share it with colleagues. So you can create a link and share it out. And another example also of sort of non-development folks. So for Service Desk, you can create a board with a Service Desk project. But I've also, for myself, I do our marketing, and I've actually created a marketing board that's based on one that I actually use.
Yeah.
So this is more about your marketing campaigns. So you'll see that I have my quarters that I've created as custom fields, and I also have all of the different campaigns that I'm planning to run. So these are all individual tasks that I need to do, and so you can see, you can get the details and add the information. These are just placeholders, but basically I can use Canvas for JIRA to actually manage my marketing issues and tasks and assign them to my marketing staff, which has nothing to do with Agile or software development, but it's a great way of being able to use a really excellent tool that's JIRA, but with a much more visual, easy to manipulate and interact with on a board.
Good for self-organization.
Exactly. Time management is another one, so people have a good sense of, okay, what do I have to do? Which issues are open
where to
that
focus
I need
on.
Exactly. So, I've been working with a lot of different experts and prospects and customers of our own. And again, particularly with JIRA 7, it's become more of a demand or more of a need, because these non-development shops don't have any boards functionality, which a lot of users, I think, find very intuitive.
Yeah. Cool.
So I've also created this marketing board. I created a task list. So here's my tasks with all of my marketing team. So we can see exactly who. Looks like Simon has the bulk of the work as usual. So I may want to give some of those to some of our other staff. So this is essentially allows me to, as a marketing manager, see who is working on what, which quarter it's due in. And I also use a new feature for color coding. So we can actually align these colors with the different types of marketing campaigns.
For example, social media is
all purple, and the print and also the email campaign. So I've color coded them just to make it more obvious what type of campaign it is. So this is another option. So and with Canvas for JIRA also, there's very little back-end administration. Setting it up, you just install it. Beyond creating the boards, there's really nothing that you need to do, but it just gives you a nice overall look. You do have options if you start to have a lot of different tickets. For example, if you wanted to use our quick filters. So there's not a lot of issues here, but maybe if I go back to our service desk board that did have quite a lot of different service tickets, I might want to filter some of these out and just see the ones that were, the critical issues. So just show me the really urgent ones I need to look at. So with this quick filter, you have the option of being able to just narrow down the amount of data just to some specific ones. Maybe I just want to see just software requests. So you can also filter out the data set and get a more specific look if there's just something particular that you're looking at.
Cool. So what about competitors? Are you the only one offering?
There are some that I think we're the only one offering something that's as flexible as this. There are some other storyboarding tools out there, which I think I've seen, and they're actually really good. And they have a very good specific individual use case. I think what we really tried to do, and when Roberto was developing the product, is that we've tried to make it as flexible as possible. So you're not just using it for one particular use case, which there are other ones out there that do that, again, just for some specific storyboarding and that kind of thing. Or maybe there are some that are a little bit more Scrum, Agile specific. And then of course there's Agile, which is probably still the biggest competitor. But again, it's Agile is fantastic for developing in an Agile environment. But if you're not a developer and you're running a service desk or you're a marketing team or a business group, this is going to allow them to have that same board type functionality, but not have to get JIRA software. So there's also a cost savings there as well.
I wanted to ask you about pricing. Can you give us some information?
We could, actually, if you want, I can show you our pricing
on the marketplace.
So just like all of our add-ons, they're all on the marketplace, and actually we'll see that Comalatech is rated near the top. But I can go into our list of. We have a number of add-ons, of course, and Canvas for JIRA. Also important to note too, it's available for cloud as well as server. So we have versions for cloud and server. So pricing-wise, the structure, of course, is based on Atlassian's users, because we have to sell it through the marketplace. So all of the grouping of your users is based on what Atlassian provides. So we have a breakdown, and you can see also for the larger ones as well. So It's priced very competitively. We did that on purpose. And it's also, for example, if somebody was using, they wanted to use boards, they weren't doing it for software development, and they thought, well, maybe I should buy JIRA software. It will be a little bit cheaper if they bought Canvas for JIRA instead. But we also have customers that are using JIRA Agile, but they're also using ours because it provides some extended functions outside of the Scrum Agile development.
Yeah.
So it's not, so software definitely still use it, but it also lets other teams do it.
So do you have more plans or kind of a roadmap?
Yeah, so we're really focusing a lot on Canvas for JIRA right now, just because we really think it has a lot of promise. The JIRA market, of course, is very big. So we're going to continue to, some of the big areas that we're looking at are improvements to the interface, particularly for dealing with large projects. So when you have a board that you might have, instead of my sample boards are relatively basic, but you might have a project that has 300 issues on it.
Yeah.
So being able to manage large boards is something we're working on, so bulk move, things like that. We're also working on some different ways of ranking your issues. So a really big topic, or a lot of feedback that we received from people that started using Canvas for JIRA, they said, oh, this is great. But one of the biggest pieces of feedback from a lot of people was the ability to rank your issues. So JIRA has its own priority or ranking field built in, but in a lot of cases you may have a lot of major issues, but you need to be able to determine which major issue is more major than the other 15 major issues. So we're starting to develop an idea for doing a more ranking matrix, so you can help people manage their high priority issues and manage their time.
Yeah, sometimes you have like 100 major
they're
tickets.
all major, exactly. Which one is more major? So we're adding another level and an actual specially created board to help with people managing those lots of major or lots of critical issues, which will also allow them to manage their time better, because they'll know specifically which issues they need to work on and address more quickly. So that's kind of the next phase that we're looking at over the next probably, I won't guarantee any dates, but over this year for sure.
But you have plans there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So so this is definitely where a lot of our focus is right now, because we're seeing a lot more interest in it, and we want to keep it growing.
Yeah. Cool. I think we will definitely try it, because we have this problem in our non-software marketing team. So if you have any questions or just
you can email me at simon@comalatech.com, or go to our website comalatech.com, or you can find us on Marketplace.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Inga.